Well, the Second City, Toronto has reopened after a very long pause during the pandemic. They've been closed since November of 2020 after the closure of their Blue Jays Way location. But now they found a temporary home on the Danforth, and in-person classes and performances have finally resumed. The Comedy Theatre is another example of a business that has had to adapt quickly because of COVID-19. Carly Heffernan, creative director of the Second City, Toronto, joins us live now on CP24 Breakfast. Good morning, Carly. So great to have you with us. I love this story because I myself have trained at the Second City when you guys were located at Blue Jays Way. I've performed at Comedy Bar before. That was my prior life. And I just love how this is happening because Comedy Bar is pretty much postponing their second location to give you guys this temporary space until 1 York is open. So let's talk a bit about how you've come now to the second home.
Well, absolutely. And it just shows how supportive the comedy community in Toronto and Canada at large is of each other. We saw so much resilience from the comedy community throughout the pandemic. And so Comedy Bar basically giving Second City a residency while we wait for our next forever home to be ready down at 1 York Street is so, so beautiful. And it's just created a joy among the comedy community. The shows this weekend were absolutely joyful.
Oh, that is so good to hear. And Carly, you know, sketch comedy, improvisation, it's all about pivoting and adapting, which I think is so fitting for this situation that we're in right now. Can you talk about how you've been able to keep the business going with the switch to just everything going online?
Absolutely. I mean, you said it exactly right. Improv is all about pivoting. You are meant to play the scene that you're in, and the scene that we were in was a global pandemic. We found such joy in doing our online programming. Honestly, improvisers can make anything hilarious, and they can find the cathartic comedy in anything. And it gave us a chance, to be honest, to experience things that we would never experience in person. Once we had an audience member join us up on screen from their bathtub, and that's just something that doesn't happen in person.
For sure. I'm sure online has opened up a lot of things, but there's nothing quite like that live performance, right? That is just something that is so sacred and unique to comedy and many other art forms. Can you talk a bit about the space? Because I know that the temporary home at 2800 Danforth, it's a lot smaller than the one at Blue Jays Way, right?
Yeah, hilariously, though, in being there this weekend and seeing the shows, it's a fantastic space. It's wonderful. And there's pros and cons to everything. It's got much more of a community vibe to it because there's more space to hang out before and after the show, you know, grab a quick drink or a wonderful bite to eat and talk about what you just saw or talk about what you're anticipating seeing. And we do have a fabulous training center in the downstairs of this space. And so classes are already up and running, and being able to see a class and, you know, take part in a class and then go upstairs and see the professional version of what you're learning, that's so cool.
Okay, and very quickly, Carly, let's talk about diversification. We're not talking like stock portfolios. We're talking about diversifying the leadership.
Not Bitcoin?
No, not Bitcoin, although we did have a chat about cryptocurrency. But Carly, you were one of the women hired to lead the creative team. So talk about Second City Toronto's commitment to diversity and inclusion.
Absolutely. It's a really beautiful time right now. We're having that refresh and that shake up, that change of those priorities. We have to reflect the community that we are serving, right? And we are an ensemble on the stage, and we have to be an ensemble. That needs to be a trickle down. And so having more people with a seat at the table making those key decisions, that's wonderful news.
Okay, and Carly, just a reminder where people can get tickets to watch shows again at Second City or to take in-person classes.
Absolutely. Just go to www.secondcity.com and you'll get everything you need.
Okay, Carly Heffernan from the Second City, Toronto, thank you so much for your time this morning. Take care.